Michael Del Noige in the chat says, by the way, were film strips expensive back when they were used? Seems difficult to make. It's not any more difficult, I think, than motion picture film. In fact, there's so much less of it. It's just 35 millimeter film. These were typically used as a budget alternative to the 16 millimeter educational films we're all used to seeing getting trashed on like Mystery Science Theater 3000. The sets would go for, I've seen them for like 85 to 150 bucks, and that would be in the late 70s, so you'd have to adjust for inflation. Spunky Lad in the chat says film strip productions were mocked back in the day. No, I don't think so. They were seen as a way to see. What I'm saying is they were less expensive than 16 millimeter motion picture film, educational shorts and stuff like that. Mr. B Natural, The Springs that Ben Heckendorn is always talking about. Whereas those, they were probably hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I know some schools, like the schools I went to, they weren't going to spend the money. And so we got to see film strips. Though I was generally so anxious as a young kid that I don't remember much of anything that they showed us. I remember things that scared me. Mafato899 says, what was this film strip that scared you? I have to know. It was a 16 millimeter educational film. They put us all in the combination gymnasium, auditorium, cafeteria. It was just one room, because that's how poor we were. Head First Humanity in the chat says, LOL, my elementary school had a cafetorium, but it was something about being safe around electricity. And there were two girls playing next to one of those big green, like it's on a concrete pad on the ground, and it's a giant, like a giant transformer, but it has the green metal covers over it. And they wandered across. Head First Humanity says pad-mounted transformer. That is correct. And these two little girls, 7 or 8, whatever, as soon as they can act, and they have this. One of them has a doll made out of fabric and stuffing. And of course, because it's an educational film meant to scare young impressionable kids such as myself, the hood of the transformer is open, and the kids are like, "Oh, look at this! Like what? Like this is the thing that nobody remembers from the 70s." I get that we've gone overboard with all the, don't make me use the W word, but we've gone overboard with all the modern overprotection of children, over sanitization of media, right? But this was legit terrifying, because there's these two girls and they're walking up to this exposed transformer. And of course it's stupid, because some educational consultant with a PhD somewhere in an office who's never known the touch of a woman is like, these girls are going to go over and they're going to want to play on the high voltage side of this transformer, right? That's a bullshit premise to begin with. But anyway, these two girls go up and they go, oh, we're going to play on this. And somehow one of them puts the doll on the transformer. And then all of a sudden, flashes and showers of sparks and screams and everything. And they cut back to a close-up shot of the girl holding the doll, and it's just burned and melted and disfigured. I am getting goosebumps just talking about this. I don't know if you can see that. See that? Literally, the fear is down deep in my brain, and I just brought it up. Now, I would like to see it again. If anybody's got a copy, if Shuriken was here, he would already have the IMDb page pulled up, and a copy on Internet Archive, and a copy on Dailymotion, and a copy on that Russian site. Mafato in 899 in the chat says, oh wow, we need to find this film. Spunky Lad says, it sounds like a creepypasta to me. Shuriken in the chat says, never heard of it. He's like a Beetlejuice, but you only have to say his name once. Mafato 899 says, I'm looking now, do you remember the name of it? No, that's all I remember about it. Sklo98 in the chat says there's a similar PSA that involves a boy in a frisbee near a transformer with his friends. That very well may be the same. It was like a short film, not necessarily like a PSA, like 30 seconds in a commercial break. But it sounds like it was one of those things. I think it was in that. I think there is a scene like that in the film I'm talking about too, because it was like a series of vignettes. Like there wasn't a universe arc, like a story arc with the girls and the doll developed superpowers and it fought Spider-Man or whatever. But it was one of those things where it was a bunch of examples of don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. You know, it's basically, God, no wonder my mom was the way she was. Mark, you saw a film about this. You know that everything you touch is going to kill you, so just don't touch anything. How many times do I have to tell you that? Can I just mention this is so much more fun and cheaper than professional therapy? So I appreciate you guys. Oh, did Zubert find it? You're just doing this because you have YouTube tangent on your bingo card, am I right? Oh, okay. This is the play safe frisbee one.
Go on, get it. We're not supposed to go in there.
I have seen this. This is all
that bit of wood.
Live apparatus. Yeah, I imagine if I'd seen this at age 10 or something, I would have been terrified, but I've seen this. Yeah. I don't know who needs to hear this, but trigger warning.
A 66,000-volt shock killed a boy today when he broke into a substation.
Oh, Jimmy! That is an obscure Van Halen reference. Michael Delnoyage in the chat also says, I sure have random YouTube tangent on my bingo card. So do I. A Prettiest Finity in the chat says, Romy Ohm and Julie Watt. Shuriken in the chat says, be cool about frisbee safety. Hey, that counts as a Gilbert Gottfried reference. Yeah, somebody needs to do a mashup of the end of Van Halen's Top Jimmy and that PSA. Get to work, deliver it to me.
20 minutes later.
It is nice, however, to potentially have a tape that we can get rid of. There's nothing on it. I bear no further responsibility to it. You know, there's nothing of value on it if my house burns down tonight. And First Humanity is posting something in a YouTube link. Oh, you did not. Okay. We've already crossed random YouTube tangent off of the list for this evening, but I gotta hand it to Head First Humanity. As soon as I say something, he gets to work. I haven't seen this yet, but I'm assuming that's what this is.
Jimmy on the radio, Jimmy, I'm the loser.
Otherwise, you may not live to play with them again.
Jimmy! Jimmy Cross!
That's awesome. That is great. That is great.
Jimmy!
66,000-volt
Jimmy on the radio, Jimmy, I'm the loser.
Otherwise, you may not live to play with them again.
Jimmy on the radio.
Jimmy! Top Jimmy Cross!
You gave me 2 bonus jokes there, too. Jimmy on the radio and Jimmy Cooks, which is a foregone conclusion when 60,000 volts goes through you, right? I gotta watch it again.
Jimmy on the radio, Jimmy, I'm the loser.
Otherwise, you may not live to play with them again.
Jimmy! Top Jimmy Cross!
That's amazing. I love it. That's fantastic. Thank you. Where were we? Oh, that was awesome. And First Humanity says, glad to help. See, I'm telling you, lost media, endangered media, weird media, outsider media is so rife with meme potential. Zuber just added a command. You can type !Jimmy in the chat at any time to get the link to that video. That's great. The chat is testing it out. Looks like I'll be spending the morning tomorrow editing that into a YouTube clip.